Progressivism is a societal cancer. Oh, hi there. Welcome to Freedom Alternative. Whenever I talk about what I like to call the LGBT-ist religion, I still get some asshat from time to time calling me a homophobe. But the reality is that not only the LGBT-ist religion is an established part of Europe nowadays, but it's also a religion that makes victims. The next victims now seem to be some terminally ill children, as a charity race for children's hospice where runners dress in drag has been reported as a hate crime by a degenerate, the transgender charity called Chrysalis Transsexual Support Groups. This group told The Telegraph that the 5-kilometer run organized by Dirian House Children's Hospice in Chorley, Lancashire is dehumanizing, and that they are now attempting to stop the run, due to take place in October, which raises money to support the hospice and that looks after sick and terminally ill children. Dehumanizing? Now, that's an interesting choice of word right there. So who is the dehumanizer doing the dehumanizing in this equation? The Children's Hospice, who is trying to bring some joy into terminally ill children's lives? Or the transgender support group whatever, who is trying to prevent that from happening in the name of the LGBT-ist religion? When I showed this in a group, someone living in Britain, now I don't know if I should name him or not, but anyway, this person tried to persuade me that it's not really that bad because, the special snowflakes complain to the police and the police have to take the complaint seriously, whereas the exact same complaint would be laughed out of the police station in Romania. Well, you know what? I actually think that the exact same thing should happen in Britain too. Such a complaint should not just be laughed off and treated with utter disdain and contempt, but should actively be punished. £100,000 minimum fine for wasting police resources would be a good starting point as a penalty for such complaints. And no, I'm not joking at all. In fact, I can barely keep my cool as I record this. How fucked up you have to be as a group, any group, not just these transgender whatever, but as an organization of any person, to go to the police and try to cancel an event meant to improve the lives of terminally ill children. Seriously, how fucked in the head do you have to be? I guess Chrysalis Transsexual Support Groups fucked up seems to be the answer. Their motivation is utterly ludicrous. Steph Holmes from the LGBT-ist group says for the paper, quote, "This race pokes fun at cross-dressing and by association us, reducing us to objects to be laughed at. Dehumanizing us this way gives carte blanche to those who would do us physical harm, much like the gay bashers of old. It's a small step from ridicule to persecution. The current stats suggest a 34% chance of being beaten up, raped or killed for being trans. We do not need to give the bigots any more ammunition. I am sure that the Darien House didn't intend to give offense. The very fact that it's a children's hospice should make them sensitive to potential bad publicity and the effect that this has on young trans people." No, you fucking idiot. The very fact that it's a children's hospice should give them carte blanche to make their funny race. But you know what? On some level I agree with Steph Holmes. We should not laugh and ridicule these people, for they are deranged and dangerous people indeed. What should be done is for their group to be actively prosecuted for wasting police resources and for being so bloody merciless with their turf war that they would go after a children's hospice. That's what we should do. And even if the police will likely conclude that no crime has been committed, or at least I hope the police will have that common sense, the harm has already been done. The event is likely to be cancelled because the chief of the hospice already begged for forgiveness and repented to the special snowflake lobby. And even if they don't cancel it, they'll definitely alter it to be less funny in order to avoid harming the precious feelings of an activist NGO that no one really gives a toss about in the general population anyway. I'm disappointed, not just that the police didn't laugh at the complaint, but also because the hospice apologized. No, you don't apologize to social justice warriors. Once you cave in once, they'll demand some more. You can't win with these people. The best course of action is to tell them to get the fuck out from your property, mock them, ridicule them, and then move on with your business and ignore them. And this is why it is so important for the average non-straights to start standing up to these bigots, because if you don't, the backlash will only get worse. I genuinely think that your average homosexual or transsexual doesn't really think that it's right to pressure children's hospices to kowtow to the LGBT-ist narrative. Most non-straight people that I know are quite cool and, dare I say, normal people. But the LGBT-ist establishment is going full retard, and if not stopped in time, it has the potential to grow a backlash that will harm all non-straights, not just the activist degenerates. Now, I'm just saying, people just want to be left alone. Maybe it's time to actually listen. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching.